Hello, everyone out there in Facebook land. We're here today for the Lawrence County-Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter Animal Hour. And we've got Ginger Morgan. We've got two special guests today. And we've got Miss Jenna. And we've got Duke. And we'll get back to both of those in just a minute. But first, let me go ahead and thank our sponsors for sponsoring our show. Story and Lee Furniture, Parks Lumber Company, Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee, and Lawrenceburg Eye Care. And we just appreciate them sponsoring our show and giving us the opportunity to share information about what's going on with the Lawrence County Animal Shelter and also what's going on with Friends of Lawrence County Animals. So, Ginger, why don't you tell us about the pet of the week?
Well, I would show him to you, but I think we can make him up with our other guest.
Well, you did ask him if he wanted a home for the holiday, so I think he's answering that.
I think so.
You're really laying it on here.
He is laying it on pretty thick. So this is Duke. Duke came to us back in June. Unfortunately, his owner became homeless. Did you have something to say? Speak. Speak. Really? Do you want a home for the holidays? Speak. No, he's not going to do it. Of course he's not going to do it.
Oh, you're being shy.
He's being shy. Anyway, Duke is about 3 years old. And he knows all kinds of commands, like I was showed you guys earlier. He can sit. He shakes with one paw and then the other paw, and he speaks. So, and he'll bark. So one of the things that I did with my dog when I taught him how to speak was, obviously I said, Pete, speak. And then he would speak. And then I would start saying, do you love your mommy? Speak. And then he would bark.
Cute.
And so then after a while, I dropped the speak. And it was, do you love your mommy? And then he would bark.
That's just precious.
And I did that to the point that one day I aggravated everybody at the park. And this lady says, we all know Pete loves his mommy. And I wanted to say, well, but your dog doesn't tell you. But anyway, I was trying to be nice. So Duke is friendly, obviously, with everybody, men and women. I think he could be a little selective with his dog friends. So if you have a dog, you need to bring it up and have him meet Duke at the shelter. We have the dog parks over there. And so that's kind of a neutral ground for them to meet on. But he's just special, and he's so dang cute.
He's a beautiful dog, and he's so soft.
Goofy. Yeah, I love his coat.
And he's so goofy. And, excuse me if for those out in radio land and Facebook land, if he smells a little bit, but it's kind of chilly. So we didn't really want to give him a bath, but we did give him a good brushing.
Hey, I don't smell nothing.
I didn't really either, but it just...
Well, he's extremely smart.
He is extremely
I'm very
smart.
impressed with the commands that he does.
Yeah.
Look, he's looking right at the camera. That's great. Absolutely.
Modeling.
Yeah. So Duke is
up for adoption.
ready to be adopted.
Ready to go. He's already neutered, up to date on all of his shots, and microchipped. And the adoption fee until the end of the year is still $20.
Oh, that is
After
wonderful.
the first of the year, it's going up to $50.
Okay.
That's still a steal for
so
like you.
It is. Somebody was talking to me the other day. They came in. They drove from out of town, actually, and adopted one of our dogs. And they're like, what's your adoption fee? And I said, $20. They said, what? Like where they live, it was like $350.
Yeah.
And we included everything in our adoption. And our $20 adoption fee that they included in their $350 adoption fee.
Wow.
So, I want to say something too before we get into Jenna, but we had some ladies come down from Nashville on Sunday. Britt with Casa Transport came down, and some photographers with, I think it's Send Dog Pics. Mm-hmm. And they took pictures of 102 of our dogs. And Britt said that we had like the best dogs ever.
Oh,
I know, I
that's so
think
good to
we do.
hear.
I
But
agree.
she said that they are all, highly adoptable. Even the ones that are not particularly crazy about other dogs, they love people.
Yeah.
And there are people that don't have dogs, so there you go.
Right.
What? No, he's not going to
Right.
be still.
Yeah, the few
So-
I've taken have all been kid friendly, and they're just the sweetest things.
So Jenna is here to talk about Home for the Holidays. She has fostered for just short periods of times a couple of our dogs. She's fostered Isaac, and then he got adopted, and you've fostered Hercules, and you foster for other people besides us. So what caused you to want to foster dogs, whether it was with us or someone else, to open your home?
It's a really great get out of jail free card for me to bring animals into the home that my husband might not otherwise let me have.
Oh,
Like big boys like you. When we got a dog, he actually gave me, I believe it was like a 30-pound limit, which worked out because we have now 2 dogs that I think together are probably still under 30 pounds. But, yeah, I get to sneak in, kittens and cats and Hercules and, big guys. Once I talked him into like 100-pound pit lab mix.
Oh, wow.
So it's really nice steal for me to be able to kind of sneak in a dog that I might not otherwise get to love on. And it's nice to see them adjust a lot of times pretty quickly and just make themselves at home.
I know you have fostered Hercules for just a couple of weekends, and that's, I think, one of the things that really why I wanted you here. I think you fostered Isaac for maybe a week or two, and then Hercules, I think you picked up on a Friday, returned on Saturday, Sunday or Monday.
Times, right before the parade too.
Right. And you were able to learn a lot about him to tell us. And that's really important too. Like some of the things what did you find out about Hercules that we may not have known already?
I found out that he is an absolute couch potato. He pretty much just collapsed on the couch and just laid out, let us rub his belly. I found out he's potty trained, which is amazing. It's really impressive how many dogs you have that are dog friendly, potty trained, or kid friendly. It's really nice that you guys have different animals that kind of fit into everybody's.
How quickly did he adapt to your other dogs, and vice versa? Your other dogs adapt to him?
Well, we have 2 pugs, and pugs kind of have the typical, they're just happy to be there kind of personality, which is nice for fostering. But Hercules was actually pretty quick too. I remember they walked around the play yard a little bit, sniffing each other, and then we got home and he galloped and let the boys chase after him, the 2 little pugs, and then they all came inside and just collapsed and watched, movies, whatever, for the rest of the night. It was pretty quick with him, and not bad with Isaac either. I think it was maybe 48 hours and he was curled up. I remember sending you guys a picture of the pugs on top of him and then curled up right there.
Because that's the information that you gave us is so valuable because we don't know how they're going to act. We know how sweet they are with us and how we hope they're going to act in somebody's home. But, would I have pegged him for a total couch potato? Probably not, because he does have a fair amount of energy. But I could see him just chilling.
Yeah, he was a great dog, and so was Isaac. And yeah, it's nice that it helps you guys out, because I know for me, I just like doing it, but it's cool that
it really helps, and we really appreciate you doing that. And I'm quite sure that the other folks that you foster for appreciate it too. They just get more info. No, you can be selective sometimes.
Well, and it just gives the dogs an opportunity to have a family, get out of the kennel, get out of that kind of a stressful environment with so many other dogs, and just, like you say, chill out for a little while.
Yeah, just let them decompress.
Yeah.
So that is, we really appreciate that. That's really important. So anybody out there, we're doing our home for the holidays. Also, you can foster at any time, but I want to have Jenna on here just to prove that you don't have to take them and keep them and keep them.
Right.
Right. And in her situation, she has a 30-pound limit, so she can't keep any more, or unless she wanted to get rid of her husband, maybe.
I think we're going to have to get the name of that husband and have a little talk.
Exactly. I know somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah. You'll let me know later.
Now, you could foster Moses for us. He weighs 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's
you
right
seen-
up my alley.
Yeah.
He's very much into the small ones because they're just easier to, take care of, put in the car. And to me, it's like, I love something like, like you.
Yeah.
You can get a nice hug from them. They'll keep you warm. It's a nice weighted blanket at night.
And that's what I've been saying. If you need a foot warmer because it's been cold,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
this is your guy right here. Because you can already tell that he's a snuggler because he loves to be loved on and loves to love everybody. So if you're thinking about fostering for the holidays, that would be absolutely phenomenal. You can do it for a couple of days, even just check them out for a day and bring them back, just to get them out. And that gives us the valuable information. A day might not give them time to kind of decompress, but at least it would give us a little bit more information about the dog too. So right now, I think we have 4 fosters for home for the holidays. I think the foster that left the other day with Coco might be a fail.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I heard that the fiance and the dad love Coco, so
Wonderful.
that could be. Although I still want her to foster more, so she can't keep every foster.
Oh, I know. That's the only problem. Right.
Well, the last dog that she was going to foster, I walked out with the foster application, and she goes, "Oh, we're just going to adopt." That made me happy. That made me really happy. So, and I wanted to mention that this Friday is Ugly Sweater Dog Day, and I guess it's for people as well. For some reason, I thought it was today, but Taylor corrected me on that, and I think it's Friday. So dress your dogs up in the ugliest sweater you have or they have, because so the dogs get ugly Christmas sweaters too from those aunts and uncles that just don't know what to get you. They get the dog an ugly Christmas sweater. So, and post it on your Facebook page and tag us, the County-Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter.
Well, that's a cute little thing. I didn't know there was such a thing as
Well, I did.
ugly Christmas sweater for
But I'm
dogs.
very interested in that.
Yeah, it's there are some of us who are crazy and dress our dogs. So
Right.
so dress
Well,
your
that's
dog
kind of
up.
cute. So that's this Friday.
That's this Friday. We had a ugly picture taking day for sweaters, but the sweater really wasn't that ugly. I think I can come up with an uglier sweater. Duke, you want to wear an ugly sweater? No.
I think
No,
you'd
he's
look
just-
so handsome in one.
He's being a really good boy.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
really
being a good boy.
incredible.
I was a little worried because he can, he has some energy.
You think he probably weighs about 50 pounds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he.
But
probably
he's
does weigh
grown.
50.
Of course,
Yeah, he's
he could gain a little if he eats too much.
Yeah.
Like myself,
Like we have some healthy dogs out at the
Yeah,
shelter.
we do.
We have some that are thin, but we have some that are definitely healthy.
We
Excuse
do.
me.
We do. Well, do you want to talk about your shelter report?
I will. I think I have to look at my notes because So far this month we have adopted or transferred out 36 dogs.
And today is only the 16th.
And today
That's
is
pretty
only the
good.
16th. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping. If we could do like another 20 by the end of the month, I would be happy. If we did 40 by the end of the month, I'd be real happy. So we're always overcrowded, and right now actually our numbers are down, but we're still 40 dogs more than what we should have.
Right. And why are we always overcrowded, Ginger? People, we see posts on Facebook a lot, people talking about the shelter's always full. let's talk about that a minute. Why is the shelter overcrowded?
Well, because people don't put ID tags on their dogs, they don't microchip their dogs, and they don't spay and neuter their dogs.
Right.
So that's a 3-prong, I guess, right there. If you just put a collar on your dog, and if it's a light colored collar, you can get a black Sharpie at the $1.25 store or $1.50 store, whatever Dollar Tree is calling themselves now. And
Duke.
just write your phone number on their collar. Now one of my dogs got out one time and she promptly left her collar on the sidewalk, but she was microchipped.
Yeah, it's really
So
nice
there
that
was
you guys
that.
handle that for everybody. You don't even have to go to the vet and do it.
Yeah.
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 It makes it easy.
And we microchip ours. Also, it's a Tennessee state law to get a rabies shot. When you take your dog to get this rabies shot, you get a tag. Put the tag on the collar. It's a little bit more cumbersome for me if I get your dog and it has the rabies tag, because I have to look up where that number came from and then call the vet's office. But still, it takes me 5 minutes.
Right. And you're able to get a dog back home.
And then able to get that dog back to its rightful owner. I mean, I had somebody, one of my nephews that lives in Summertown, texted me back in the summer. He goes, "Hey, I've got this dog. Here's its rabies tag number." And literally within 5 minutes, I could give him who the owner was and a phone number for him to contact.
And that's wonderful. And I think there are probably a lot of people that don't realize that, because until I started really being around the shelter and working with you more, I knew that number was registered somewhere that was on that rabies tag, but I really hadn't thought about who would you call? How would you find that out? So that's another way. Just put that rabies tag on the collar.
Put the tag on the collar. I know that, and I think microchipping your pet is extremely important, but some people don't understand what microchipping is. Or some people don't even, they don't know, like, to take the dog to check to have it microchipped. And we do have a microchip station, thanks to Folka, at the police department.
We do. And I will go ahead and say right now we've got to get it recharged. The cold weather has really pulled on the battery, so we've got to get that recharged for people. But yes, you can take a dog by the police department on the back side that faces Waterloo Street. And it's just right inside the little alcove there. And you just turn it on, scan it. It'll give you a number, and then you can call. We have information on the boards there on the wall. And so we were glad to be able to provide that for the community.
Yeah, I know. In Memphis years ago, I was pumping gas in my car, and there were several of us there, and this dog wandered up, and this lady's all dressed up. She can't take it, but boy, I tell you what, she sure picked that dog up and threw it in the back of my vehicle about as fast. I was like, that was the fastest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if he had been there and seen that dog before, but she was bound and determined that dog was going home with me. And lucky enough, I went to a vet's office close to my home, and they scanned it and found the dog's owner. What was strange is that dog was a good 10 to 15 miles from its home.
Wow.
It had to cross all kinds of
Yeah.
interstates and everything in Memphis to get to where it was.
Yeah.
But
Oh, my
it was
goodness.
reunited with its owner, and it had been missing for 2 or 3 weeks.
No.
Well, that is so good that it got
Yeah.
back. And I know you work very hard to try to find the owners of the dogs that come into the shelter. And you have found a lot of owners this year, right?
We have, I think the number is 56. So we have reunited 56 dogs with their original owners. Last year, I think we did like maybe 20, 25. So I'm pretty
That's great.
proud of those numbers.
Yeah.
We get them out there. We put them on Facebook. If you are scrolling through Facebook, and typically when I post something on Facebook, I don't ever tell whether it's a girl or a boy. If it has a collar on, I don't want it showing in the picture, because the people need to really. He likes you.
I know. I feel like he's been flirting.
He's
with
working.
me.
He's working on you, Jenna.
It's
is
working.
He says, "I'm not going back to that shelter tonight."
He doesn't even take the treat from me. He's like, no, I'm all about Jenna. So one of the things is, so if you're scrolling, you see our dogs that I've posted it, somebody missing this kid from Leoma, Loretto, Summertown, First Street.
Right.
Just share that.
Absolutely.
And a story that I almost forgot, you all, that I want to tell about is that, so there was a post that somebody found this dog, and it was posted right after this man came in looking for his dog, his chocolate lab in Leoma. I think it was Leoma, Loretto, Leoma, south of here. And
Could have been done. There's a community done.
so he came in looking for his dog. Well, we didn't know, and then of course, like later that night or the next morning, somebody posted that they had found the dog, and somebody on there said, "Oh, I know the dog owner. It's David." Excuse me.
I think he has a lot of opinions about these owners that are not
They're not responsible.
keeping track of them. You say,
Do you want a home for the holiday? He's not going to say. He's not.
he says, when are we going to talk about me?
We've talked about you. We've talked about
We've
you.
talked all about you. What a pretty boy you are, and how
He
smart
really
you
is
are.
gorgeous. I love his coat.
He is.
It's got like little brindle bits on it.
So, kind of make a long story short, somebody said, "Oh, this dog belongs to David," and then this woman comes up and she goes, "Oh, that's my dog." And so that woman and the person who had the dog gave it to the woman that said that it was hers. It wasn't. And the woman had put all the identifying information out there. So the girl said it was hers. I guess she wanted this beautiful chocolate lab. And
My goodness.
I wound up having to get the sheriff's department involved, and we tracked down
What a mess.
where the girl was, and then the gentleman wound up getting his dog back the next day. But if you find a dog and you're posting it and somebody says it's theirs, ask to see photos
Right.
of the dog.
It's a good idea.
Don't give all the identifying information.
Yeah, if they're anything like me, every single photo on my phone is my
Right.
dog's, the screensaver.
Yeah, when I
Everything.
scrolled through
All the videos.
on this person who had said it was her dog, I looked at her Facebook page. There was one picture of a beagle, and the beagle did not look anything like a chocolate lab. So I'm like,
Yeah.
there's something very wrong here.
Fishy.
So when you do that, just make sure you leave out something identifying. Make sure the person, sends you some photos of the dog, or if you're going to give the dog to them, you can see their phone that they have photos of that same dog, so that you know that you're reuniting the correct dog with the correct owner.
Right. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
It's kind of crazy, because there are many times on some of the dogs that I post, it's like, oh, that's my dog. Her name is Bella. Well, unfortunately, apparently his name might be Bill. It's not Bella.
Right. Well, Facebook is such a wonderful tool, and really, it's so good to have it, to be able to use it the way we do with lost and found animals, adopting animals. Doing our show. Highlighting our dogs, the dogs that you have,
And showing the dogs that we've gotten adopted.
Yes. Such a great tool. Such a great tool.
It can be wonderful.
Yes.
When used properly.
When used properly, and we do see posts that aren't, well,
Not
drama.
gonna get into the weeds.
Drama. I think it's called.
yeah.
I think it's called Drama Post. Maybe that's what it's called.
Yeah, the drama post.
Yes, but yes, follow our Facebook pages. Friends of Lawrence County Animals, Lawrence County Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter. Like our pages and follow it, and share what we put on Facebook. You know, that would really help a lot.
The more people who like our pages, the more people are going to see them. You know, it's interesting because you can look at the algorithms or analytics or whatever, and I'm not savvy on that, but it's interesting because sometimes I look at it and it'll say like 60% of the people who are not followers have liked or shared our post. And I was like, well, they need to be followed.
They need to. You're right.
If you've gotten an invitation to follow our page from our page, you need to follow.
You need to follow. Please follow.
One of the things that we talked about last time were our dog houses. And so we've gotten the first one from the Summertown High School, and they're building the second. Well, it's the first three. They're kind of like triplexes. They all work together. They're working on their next ones. And for people who donated used dog houses, some of those blue barrels, let me tell you, those dogs were as snugly warm as they could possibly be outside this past weekend. And we had straw in there. I think we've used a lot of our straw. So if anybody wants to drop some more straw off to the shelter, we would really appreciate it. Our address is 815 Gaither. So the dogs love, well, they like to play in the straw too. So there's that.
Yeah.
That would be one of the reasons why we need more straw. We need more straw.
So have you decided that you like straw better than chips? Wood chips?
I think I do. Now we do like the wood chips as well, but the straw doesn't get, it gets everywhere, but the wood chips really get everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
We used a lot of wood chips last year. I think it's...
So maybe the dogs don't dig as much in the straw, try to make a nest or whatever like they do on the wood chips.
I'll just say this. It's a mess for us. Anyway, wood chips, straw, hay, whatever.
And you'll take any donation, right?
But it's a necessary evil in order to keep them happy and comfortable and warm.
Right.
I wouldn't not have wanted to be an outside dog this past weekend.
Yeah, it was kind of tough. Sunday was pretty miserable. Sunday morning early, but we had sunshine. It was really, and the wind was not that strong, so it was really better than I feared it was going to be.
Well, and going back to the ladies that came down from Nashville to take the pictures, they're going to help us use those pictures to network our dogs to other rescues. But let me tell you, when they said, excuse me.
I think he said Jenna.
Yeah, he did. I think he did.
I think he said Jenna.
I sounded just like it.
I can weigh 30 pounds.
Pretty much. Yeah. Close enough, right?
When those ladies picked Sunday to come down, and they're volunteers, they don't get paid for any of this. They were there at 10:15. They left at
I couldn't believe it. I had messaged them and been like, if you need a coffee run or something.
Oh, I know.
They had said, I think we've got hot cider. We've got plenty of volunteers. Said,
I did little really goodie bags for them with, Bliss Tex and things to wipe their hands with and, all this stuff. But they plowed through it. Let me tell you. They were kind of chilly at the end, but we took
good stuff over there.
We try.
Well, and they were there several hours because the open house started at 2,
right?
And they were still there. I think it was about 2:30 before they left.
Yeah, I think they were packing up their stuff, and probably I think they were trying to peel off some layers.
Right, they had on several layers.
Yeah, they took pictures in the building first. And and that went really quickly because we could just kind of run them all through. But I can't even, we just appreciate so much.
So much. What they're doing for you is just it's wonderful.
The right picture can really
and
sell a dog.
On pictures, it's kind of interesting because I went to a kind of a training in Chattanooga, and they said, "Oh, take pictures this way, to get the dogs adopted." Well, it's totally different than what you want to do to get the dogs into rescue. So, when you want to get the dog adopted,
Okay.
well, I didn't think about that, but like with Duke, instead of sitting here and you get this beautiful picture, frameable, photo of Duke that I'm always looking for, that he was like all over the ladies, and they were just snapping away because they wanted to show how he interacted.
Yeah, I think
people.
that can really help
Yeah.
a lot
Okay.
of people kind of understand,
What do
like
you
you were
hear,
saying
darling?
before, how they'll be in
Right.
the home,
There.
how they'll be in real life.
And then
Toby.
it also gives you an idea of how big the dog is.
I know
depending- yeah.
when we adopted our first pug, it wasn't the most photogenic photo, certainly, because I think he can lose some weight, and I think he's a bit older than I think. And then when I saw him in person, I'm like, wow, you're fit, you look great. But it was a nice photo of him in the kitchen, and we could just like envision like him being a sweet little pug in our kitchen. And of course, now we have
Yeah.
two of them, but yeah,
They're
it's
so
nice
cute.
being able to see kind of that at home type feel.
But it's kind of difficult to get pictures of dogs. And probably
it's
cats too, but I know
Terrible a lot of
dogs.
the time, unless they're
I
trained.
can get my phone out. My dog's doing something really cute, and I can get my phone out, and it'll be like,
Yeah, my dogs are very well trained now. They know like if my phone's out, like pose and make
oh,
their
that's
moves.
good.
But yeah, if your dog's not,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of dogs. It's so funny. It was like one of them, like I'm sitting here, but then I pull out my camera.
yeah,
Oh,
perfect angel.
a real
Perfect.
ham.
Squared his shoulders, he perfect.
A real
But-
ham.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the dogs at the shelter, sometimes when I start out trying to, it's like, okay, I'm taking pictures today. And it's like I prayed for patience and God sent me every one of those dogs. Because they're like twirling around. I've got,
Yeah, it
you know,
definitely helps. I know, at least like when I'm fostering, to have them for a little bit, and then they're just like, moseying around the
Yeah.
yard, and you can snap a cute
Right.
photo
Yeah.
here and
And
there.
and the pictures that you have of like Hercules and Isaac laying up there with your dogs, and
they're so
I think there was one where you were laying on there with them to see how they
Yeah.
like to snuggle up and keep your feet warm. Remember, it's cold outside. Foster for the holidays.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, he's not. No, she's not going to take you home either.
I don't know. You're really laying it on here.
He
have
is
to
laying
tell
it
my
on.
husband.
He is just a mess.
So the volunteer activity and other shelter updates. Is there something else you wanted to an update us on?
I think so. Let's
Okay.
see. So volunteers. I think I also had this like a little recap because we had that volunteer meeting.
Oh yes, we
Yes,
did.
I think
last week.
I have this that kind of on here twice, but
Okay.
there were several people that showed up. I wish Leanne was here because she'd be better equipped to talk about it. But you were there, so there were several people there that really learned more about what we need at the shelter and what Folka needs as
Right.
volunteers.
Right.
So since probably in the last 6 months, we've gotten more volunteers to come out. We've gotten the shelter has, it's something that we've been working for is kind of, or is getting more attention. People are coming, but we always need volunteers to foster, to walk the dogs. It just makes them, one of the things that hit home with me that the lady said the other day is like, you can tell that your dogs are handled and they get out and they're used to socialization.
Oh,
and
so
stuff.
important.
I agree. I've walked the Fosters around the little park. We kind of have made that like our little, seeing them off
Yeah.
thing. We'll take a walk with the pugs and the boys, and they really like show the other dogs around. Like, oh, this is my spot, and
Yeah.
it's like you can tell they know the lay of the land, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, this is your home for now, at
Right.
least.
Yeah.
And that's really
Right.
sweet to see.
And it's really sweet. Well, it's not sweet because every once in a while somebody will slip a leash or something. But we walk around the track that's out there, and it's a 1/4 mile. So if you're somebody that's looking for a little exercise, come on out. It's a quarter mile. You can walk the dog once or twice, 4 times if you want to. Get a different dog. And it's kind of hilly, so you get a little hill work in there too.
It's really a good place to walk.
It is.
It's really good exercise.
Good place to walk. But just getting them out, getting them socialized, it's great. And to see them, like when I was leaving to go let my dogs out before I came here, I looked at little Hercules, and he was crawled up in his corunda bed, sound asleep. He was so cute. And it's nice to see them relaxed.
Right.
Yeah, tuckered out.
It's
happy and relaxed.
It warms my heart. I mean,
Yes.
I almost when I walk
Yes.
through there when there's nobody else there, and I was trying to take some video for Charlotte one day. I thought, well, I'm gonna take it when everybody leaves and it's kind of quiet. Because I know they can mess with the, sound and everything. Well, I think we were really going for the ASPCA, pulling at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
And most of the dogs were sound asleep, curled up, looking happy. It's like, no,
Not going to work. Right.
You're supposed to look like you need a home, like you're.
They're just well taken care of, at least.
So with shelter support, you mentioned dog walking, socialization, which is just loving on the dog, playing with the dog, playing with puppies.
Puppies, yeah.
Play yard supervision, again, just being around the dogs, watching the dogs.
Giving them toys, one of the things that we're really trying to do now is enrichment. So that could be giving them, coming out and putting some peanut butter on those lick mats, giving them to the dog so they can work on that. We can't leave them in there because they like to chew the lick mats.
Right.
But, and with Kongs, and we have some puzzles that you can put treats in, and then the dog has to use its nose to go through.
He hears you talking about those, and he's like, I'm looking, but I don't see none.
Hey,
And that's a real good stress releaser too for the animals.
Something to do because especially now that it's colder, we're walking them as best we can, but it's cold out.
It is,
And so sometimes we walk them until they potty and get out, and we try to get the ones that we know that are housebroken, like you said that the ones that you have taken were housebroken.
Yeah.
If we realize that they're housebroken, we get them out as soon as we can in the morning so they can go potty. So that's not a real exercise. And then we try to take them for a longer walk later in the day. But depending on what happens,
right.
we may not be able to do that.
Yeah.
But that's where we really rely on our volunteers.
Yeah, life happens a lot in the shelter world. So
You know that. Beth came out one day to help me take pictures. We didn't take one, and you were there for 3 or 4 hours.
I get it. It's like that sometimes.
I finally said, just give me the computer. I'm going to work in shelter manager because we're not going to make any pictures.
We're going to get pictures, and then you'll end up, oh, wow, I got a really nice picture. But if you go into it, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It didn't. I mean, there were so many people in and out that day. It was just crazy.
It was amazing.
We did some adoptions. I think we took in a couple of dogs.
Yes.
And
It was very busy.
I was just like, well, I don't even know what happened to this day.
Yeah, it was gone before you know it.
Well, that's one thing at the shelter. I get there at pretty much 7:30 or a little before. Every once in a while, a little after, if one of my dogs doesn't, go fast enough. But and by the time I stop to look at something, it's 2:30. I'm like, well, I guess I better get to work, because I have
time flies when you're having fun.
It does. It really does. Because I have a mental list of what I wanted to get done, and I'm like,
Doesn't always happen.
no, it does not always happen.
Well, speaking of our volunteers, working adoption events as well. And we have a lot of, you have a lot of volunteers.
Do we need volunteers?
See, I need
How many?
I need a T-bone
How many
steak.
volunteers? How many barks can I get for a volunteer?
All of them?
And so we're communicating with our list of volunteers through email and letting them know when our adoption events are planned. And we're asking for volunteers to be responsible for a dog
A dog, right.
at the event. And that means keeping it on a leash, keeping it away from the other dogs,
Right.
because sometimes maybe they get a little jealous.
Yes. And sometimes they're not used to, like if we're going to Tractor Supply, they're used to us.
Right.
And sometimes they're not used to other people coming up to them. So watching their body language and things like that. And I'm probably hyper vigilant, and you can attest to that.
Amen.
About not letting our dogs, even if unless they really, really know each other, and I know that, when we're out in public, I don't want them close because anything can happen. Animals are animals, and
Yeah, just like people, they might have a bad day. And,
Right.
They
They
don't
might
want
have a bad
somebody in
day.
their face.
And,
Well, Ginger really tries to make sure that everybody's safe. Every person, every dog, everybody's safe. And when we go to Tractor Supply, it's usually very, very busy too. That's a very
Right.
busy place on
It is.
Saturday. We appreciate so much Tractor Supply letting us come
Yes,
there.
we do.
Because it is a great place to go. But Ginger, she wants to make sure everyone is safe.
And I think I've probably hurt a few feelings in my attempt to keep everybody safe, but it truly is for the person and the dog.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. But working at adoption events is not a hard thing to do. It's kind of fun. And especially if your dog gets adopted and it's so much, it just makes you feel so good.
You just want to bark at me, but you don't want to answer my questions.
If you're going to talk, Duke, you need to look into the camera.
And you need to turn around. Nobody wants
Yeah.
to see your backside.
Okay, we've already
know. He
talked
does have a
about
cute
Does
backside.
this rug make your behind look big? We need a what do you call those things? A poll. Does this rug make his behind look big?
Right. Now, we've already talked a lot about foster care, but let's talk about transport, because you have a dog going tomorrow
Yes.
to Columbia. It's it's going to a rescue, and that maybe doesn't happen every week. Sometimes it does happen every week.
Sometimes it does.
And
yes.
we need volunteers that will put a kennel in the back of their vehicle. Not an open truck back, but like an SUV, especially this
SUV.
time of year.
Right.
And transport a dog or two to
That would be so helpful. We do have a volunteer that helps us do that. A lot of times I do it. Tomorrow an employee is going to do it because I'm off, and the other lady couldn't. So, but that takes her time away from the dog, So if anybody can transport our dogs to Columbia,
and it really only takes about 30 minutes from Lawrenceburg, because the drop off is on this side of Columbia, on the Lawrenceburg side of Columbia.
There's great coffee in Columbia, too.
Oh, great coffee!
Yeah.
Casa, I don't know how many times. Getting,
it's
different dogs, different cats fix.
Yeah.
And I just get that coffee in the morning. It's like, okay, I'm set.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
You can work in a nice treat.
I'll say the last time I think I went over there, I went to Starbucks and got the peppermint hot chocolate.
Oh, I have got to get one of those. She says it is the best.
Well, now it's not quite as good as Starbucks, but you don't have to drive to Columbia. You can get a peppermint hot chocolate at Cozy Cabin.
I've got to go there.
Okay.
And I love
That might be the move.
I love all of our coffee shops, and when we've got several now, but I love them all. But I've got to get that peppermint hot chocolate. She has been talking about ever since she moved here from Memphis, and I still have not gotten one. So I'm going to do that.
The move from Memphis saved me a lot of money on peppermint
Hot chocolates. And now you have found them in Lawrenceburg.
Exactly. Now I can buy a house maybe.
Right.
Because I haven't been buying the peppermint hot chocolate.
So if I want to volunteer with the shelter, I can do that by coming by the shelter and completing a volunteer application.
Correct.
And then I go into an email system there, and we'll get notices. You can come to an event that we're at, an adoption event. We usually have those volunteer applications at the adoption
I
event.
pretty much have a volunteer form on me pretty much.
Yeah,
wherever I
all the
go.
time. Right, right. And we've got some wonderful volunteers that have helped us, and we just appreciate them so much.
And we don't want to wear them out. And the thing about volunteering is, you know, if you have an hour, we'll take it. If you have 15 minutes, like literally you were driving past the shelter and you're like, I've got 15 minutes, I can walk Duke. You just come and walk one dog. We had somebody that used to come and walk. I want to say he walked for maybe 45 minutes. He would get 3 dogs out. You know what? That's 3 dogs that we might not have gotten out.
Right,
That
right.
is something really cool that you guys make it so easy for people. I know moving from Nashville, some places you'd have a bit more, you know, laborious process of
Yeah.
giving references and stuff, and it's much appreciated being able to just fill out an application, and I got a foster the same day, and
Yeah, well,
got
good
to
deal.
see him sleep on the couch.
Well, Ginger has a lot of experience. I think she can tell a lot by our body language if she's going to let us volunteer or not.
Yeah, catch the vibe.
Yeah. And you know,
Yeah.
a lot of time that's just it. That's the same way on adoptions as well. I mean, our adoption process is pretty straightforward. We ask questions. I ask them, the staff, you know, when you fill it out, make sure that what your answer, whether you filled it out right or not, I'm going to say not right, but the way we wanted it to fill out. And we start asking questions, then we can get more of a feel for, you know, how you know about dogs and things. I'll never forget last year, I hadn't been there very long, and this man came up wanting to adopt this dog, and he never, had I not had a conversation with him, I would have got my first reaction for what he said. I would have never adopted to him, because he says, well, I want a dog, but I'm just hoping it'll live. And I'm like, excuse me?
Not a good start.
Red flag.
And then he was afraid, I guess there were some coyotes and stuff, you know, running around. And, you know, really wanted her to be an outside dog. And
I think he said home for the holidays
Yes.
with Jenna.
Make sure they get it.
I think
Make
that's
sure
what he
they get
said.
the idea.
Home for the holidays with Jenna.
Yes.
Absolutely.
turn around and tell them.
So, well, I
Oh,
don't.
that head tilt was so.
He said, I think I found my person. I'm not going to talk to the
Right there,
camera.
Look at him.
There you go.
Good
You
boy.
got
Did you
it.
get a good look? Now you keep interrupting me. I forgot what I was talking about. That's how.
Well, I know, and we may also have some volunteers that filled out an application months ago, and maybe they've not been contacted or they've changed their mind. They just need to let us know.
Right.
It's kind of taken us a while to get this volunteer program off the ground and get a process going. So if we've not contacted you, it's not that we don't need you. We're sorry for that. But hey, contact us. Call the shelter. Ginger, what is that number?
Let me use my Delilah voice.
Yes, Delilah, what is that number?
It's 931-244-0265.
Right. You can call Ginger. You can talk to her about volunteering. You can talk with her about adopting or fostering.
Preferably talk about Duke.
You can talk about Duke.
And you can talk to Duke.
You can talk to Duke. That's right. I bet Duke would talk on the phone. Well,
He says, I want to call 1-800-HOME for the holidays.
home for the holidays. I
That's a
like
little
that.
long. It doesn't work out for the right numbers, because he doesn't care. That's what he's calling. Home holiday.
Well, you know, Ginger, something else that I know you have started is the kibble cupboard.
Oh, you know, I almost forgot about the.
And the kibble cupboard, that initiative began because you were getting a lot of calls and a lot of people coming to the shelter that were really, really struggling to feed their animal
Yes.
and their family.
Right.
And we're trying to keep dogs in homes. The shelter is full. And we're trying to help keep animals in the home. And one way to do that is food.
Provide food. You know, we can't provide any medicine for them, you know,
Right.
for them. And but if if you are out there and you're wondering whether or not you're going to be able to feed yourself or your dog, contact us at that number, 931-244-0265, or stop by the shelter. I will say, for those people who have donated to it, thank you very much. If you haven't, we would really appreciate you donating to us, because every day, somebody came by today that ran out of the food that we gave them before, and I know that there's a need there. Mm-hmm. You can
tell. You can
really tell. And to make it simple, we have an Amazon wish list. I have it pinned to the top of our Facebook page. All you have to do is go on there, and we have dog food, puppy food, and different varieties, different price points, different sizes. We even have cat food, because people don't just have dogs. They have cats that they can't feed either. And we've handed out a lot of cat food.
And we love cats. And Friends of Lawrence County Animals, we take care of cats through our Lawrence County SNPs program. So we spay and neuter a lot of cats and have in this community. Of course, the shelter doesn't have cats because you don't have space for cats. We don't have a building for cats. But yes, you have taken in cat food as well.
Yes.
So all kind dog food and cat food
in any size. Like I said, the price point, just pick. It goes from something that's pretty inexpensive to something that's expensive.
So if you're, the Amazon wish list is a good place to go, like you say, and it's already set to ship to the shelter.
We got 2 packages today.
Oh, good.
List. Thank you to the people who donated.
But if you're in Walmart, Tractor Supply, one of the grocery stores, you buy food, you can drop that food off at the shelter. Or if you're in, you want to just maybe stay in town, the Pet Palace is accepting food for Ginger, and also New Moon Antiques on the square. And either will also take monetarily donations.
Correct.
So if you want to just do cash, Ginger can go buy food.
Yes.
So we know that there are a lot of people out there right now that are in need, and a lot of people are asking for donations for various things. Our community is so wonderful. We're such good givers. I'm so proud of Lawrence County. But this is a way to help the shelter and help the community too, by helping people keep their dogs.
That's, because you don't want somebody to have to give up their dog that they've had for years.
Yeah, and you don't want that for the dog either.
No, they don't. They don't know that, mom doesn't have food to feed the kids and the dogs. That a choice has to be made, and I understand that.
Right.
I'm lucky that I've never been in that position, but I can, there have been times I'm like one bag, new tire or something that might have put me over the edge. So I just thank God I've never been in that position. But some people are, and don't be embarrassed about it. Just call us and ask us for help, because we'll do pretty much as much as we possibly
as much
can.
as we can. Absolutely, we sure will. Right now, we don't have any other events, off-site events coming up.
We are planning.
We're planning for next year. We are. The Friends of Lawrence County Animals Board will be having a planning meeting in January.
I'll be having a planning meeting with the shelter employees to come up with different places we can go, to have events, different events that we might want to do. We're not going to be outdone, I don't think, on the float next Christmas. So there's that.
Well, you looked really good in the parade this year, and you had some precious dogs walking, but go for it.
And I did mean to mention that we had so much fun. We had so much fun. We participated in the pet parade this year, and we also participated in the Christmas parade. And this is the first year that we've had our dogs out there, and they did so well.
They did.
And that was, we had Bumper. Bumper just had to ride in the don't tell the sheriff and the sheriff side by side. I'm not quite sure, Bumper, we're supposed to be in
The
there.
sheriff should know you well enough now. If he lets you borrow a vehicle, it's going to have a dog in it.
Well, we just don't say.
We just don't say it out loud.
yeah, we
Okay,
don't say
maybe
it
he's not listening.
Hope not. But so Bumper, he rode in there because he was like, he kind of went a little crazy with all the people. He just kind of shut down on us. But he enjoyed riding.
Yeah.
And then we had Cash. I mean, we've talked about Cash for so long, and he is still up for adoption. He was Santa Claus, and he rode in the back.
And he had the best
that's
time.
precious.
that was, I'm going to tell you, he had the best time.
He
was
loved everyone.
And, and we had some cute puppies that were letting everybody all the kids just come out and pet and love on them. I think that just shows how well we've done at trying to get them acclimated to
Socialize.
different things.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I think of one of my own dogs that had happened to with the kids coming out, she would have went.
Went like that.
Yeah, she
Well,
would not
we
have
were
good luck.
we were really happy to have that opportunity to be in the Christmas parade and to be in the pet parade that was sponsored by the Pet Palace. Well, ladies, we are just about out of time. Can you believe we have sit here and talked for an hour? So let me once again thank Story and Lee Furniture. We want to thank Parks Lumber Company, Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee, Lawrenceburg Eye Care. We want to thank Duke. We want to thank Jenna. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for being a foster.
Yeah, of course. I love it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week right here.